What's up, good people? Welcome back to another episode of Undrafted Views. We're here. We talk sports from the sidelines. And today we're going to talk about the New Orleans Pelicans and what we think about the rest of their season. Let's get into it.
The New Orleans Pelicans are currently 21-27 and are 12th in the Western Conference, currently riding a 2-game losing streak. Do you think they have what it takes to make it to the playoffs, considering all the teams they have to beat in order to get there?
I don't know about the playoffs, but the play-in tournament, yes. If they make it to the play-in tournament, then let me look at the matchups that's remaining between 7 and 10, and then I can probably make a better assessment. Because what I'm looking right now, if they make it anywhere, it will be the play-in tournament, and it'll be, like hair of their chin. Like for real. So yeah, I we'll see.
Wow, because if I look at the standings as they are right now, there's about 5 teams that they would have to battle, right? Yeah. So Dallas, the Spurs, Memphis, Golden State, that's questionable, Kings. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Sacramento Kings, maybe. So I think the Pelicans, they have a pretty good shot, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that at least with the play-in tournament, because let's just face it, if they do get into the play-in tournament, it's going to be slot 10. That's just number one. I don't see them going any slot above 10. I just don't see it because they're 12 right now as we speak. And with all of their starters, not all of them, but majority of their starters not playing, it is going to impact their chances of winning more games. Mm-hmm. Their losing streak will continue to increase. So I think that they can make it to the 10th spot. And if they make it to the 10th spot, they have an opportunity to play at least 2 games, right? They got to win the 10th spot, the 9-10 game, and then they have to win the game where they play the losing team of the 7-8 game.
Right.
So they have a chance, but it's up for grabs. I mean, we're talking about the Kings. If they don't win, if they don't beat the Kings, they're not going to make it anyway. So you know what? At the end of the day, they better hope that Golden State continues to play the way they play, because that opens up the 10th spot for either the Kings or the Pels. And the Pels can make it. They got to fix some things before they do that.
Wow. And it does start with getting everybody back healthy. Let's talk about these injuries right now. Yeah. Lonzo Ball's out with a hip. Brandon Ingram out with a toe. Zion and Josh Hart both have thumb injuries. Like, how do you win? How do you put together a nice little win streak when your whole starting 5 essentially is out injured?
Your starting 5 is out injured, but you do have nice pieces on the bench. And so it has opened up an opportunity for NAW, and Nicole Alexander Walker, and Kyra. Yeah. Kyra to start to play a little bit more, especially in the guard positions. And then they just signed to a 10-day contract Isaiah Thomas. Like, he's a placeholder. He's got to be a placeholder. And I really feel bad about that because you're going to have 2 shorties running the point. Like, you got Bledsoe and him. Like, talking about small ball. Like, I just don't. Mm-hmm. I guess they needed another roster spot. I can probably only imagine they may have brought him in number 1 for some reprieve while the main starters are out, but also to make sure they probably had enough people on their starting roster, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't know how much impact he's going to make.
No, and in 10 days, I mean, hopefully it gets extended, but IT is a ball hog, and I don't think that's going to fit well into the Pelicans offense. And Stan Van Gundy's not gonna, he's not gonna tolerate that.
Yeah. Hopefully, but the last time he played was, I would say it was February of 2020. The last time Isaiah Thomas played, maybe he played with FIFA, played something through America, or whatever.
Yeah,
game. And so maybe he has changed how he performs, because whatever that is, it's not going to get you a permanent contract. Whatever you were doing, I mean, hopefully you can bring your Celtics game back, but I don't know if that will be enough, right? So we're really talking about, and there's a lot of games to take place within 10 days, but it can go like that. You hope that you get another 10-day contract, because you can get up to 2. So I don't know. I just don't know what impact he's going to have. Maybe it'll just be because they need to be able to sit down Kyra and just to give them some rest while they go back in, because they got to be starting while the others are out. They have to be.
Yeah, but I think, with the injuries, it causes a ripple effect, right?
Yeah.
Because if NAW and Kira is usually, playing off the bench, now we got them in starting lineup, who's backing them up?
Right.
And
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So that's probably why they brought him in for the 10-day contract, because I'm quite sure they really would prefer that their starters actually play.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell you right now, with Zion Williamson being out, hopefully he comes back soon, and with Brandon Ingram being out, the games that they missed together, that is the core. Did you not know them two together make up most of the points that the whole Pelicans make when they're playing these teams?
Mm-hmm.
That's them. They are like 1 and 2 leaders for the scoring of each game. It's either going to be Brandon Ingram or Zion. That's just how it's been if you look at their history. So with them two being out,
forget about it, right?
forget about it. And one thing about Brandon Ingram, he can come through in the clutch. He can, because he's proven it before. And then Zion Williamson as well. So you got your two clutch players out.
Yes. I know. Now, Lonzo Ball has been out for a series of games. He leads the team in assists and steals. We're talking about team leaders. Brandon Ingram leads them in blocks and, of course, points. They're 1 and 2 with Zion. And Steven Adams, who has been probably the most consistent in terms of being available to play games, he leads them in rebounds. But, let's talk about their defense a little bit.
Their defense is horrible. And you can mention Josh Hart also is very great on rebounds.
I love Josh
So they're
Hart.
a really good rebounding team. But it doesn't matter if you can't defend. So you just can't get any stops. That's part of their issue, right? So we have these teams, and they're putting up all these great. The Pelicans and Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson putting up all these great points, and you got the assists going on, but your turnovers are awful. You got horrible turnovers. So now, since you're bad in turnovers as a team, and you can't get defensive stops, you're just pretty much giving the other team extra points. And I think that's the challenge that they face. And if they can figure out what that is, they will be better off and more suitable to perhaps really solidify a 10th spot in the play-in tournament. I don't know. I have hope for them, because in my predictions, I had them pretty high. And I'm like, really? It's disappointing. But then these injuries don't help either, right? So,
right. Eric Bledsoe has been getting a lot of flack lately, but I'm wondering if it's justified. I mean, he's the only member of the starting five who does not lead the team in any category. The media has been coming down hard on him. Zion and Josh Hart in particular have been coming to his defense. I like that, but at the same time, he's not producing much at all, and they need him if they want to move forward and and have a winning record moving into the play-in tournament.
You know what the thing about it is, that sometimes what people can contribute to a team does not show up on the stat board, right? So no, Eric Bledsoe may not be leading in the statistical categories that everybody talks about, but is he adding value on things that cannot be?
Yeah.
A number placed to it, and that I don't know. I don't know if he affects the game that way.
He might be their leader in the locker room. We don't know.
He may be, but is that enough? Apparently not.
Yeah, not really, because the product has to show up on the court,
Exactly. I just think that let's get the starters back. I'm not sure if Josh Hart is coming back. He's not a starter, but I'm not sure if Josh Hart is coming back, because he's a great force when he comes off the bench. But we do need at least Lonzo, and I can't believe I'm saying that. Lonzo, which is great, right? Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, and Zion. You need the three. I don't know what else you're going to do without them.
They're going to continue to lose games. Unfortunately, of all the teams that the Pelicans are battling, to make it to the 10th spot, they're the only team that I really, really want to see, moving into the play-in. I don't want to see the Spurs, or I don't want to see Golden State, because they're not playing up to their level. I want to see the Pelicans and how well they can handle the competition and the pressure of being, a win it or go home type game.
I agree. I'm really not interested in the Kings. No disrespect to the Kings, but I don't want to see them in the play-in tournament. I really don't. I really don't want to see them. I agree. I think the Pels are one of the teams that I would love to see compete in a play-in tournament. I would love to see the Pels. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. And I want to see how Stan Van Gundy can manage it. You know, I want to see what kind of offensive changes and defensive changes he can come up with on the fly to be successful. So I'm looking forward to that.
You know, but the thing about it is it's not enough just to get into the play-in tournament. You got to be able to win as well. And even if they get into the play-in tournament, it will be because the Kings continue to do what they do and Golden State said, I ain't doing it no more. I mean, you know, that's what it boils down to. So they will, and if the Pels can hold on, really, we're talking about hold on, right? I'm not even saying you got to win all of the rest of your games. I think they got about maybe 24, 25 more games to play. You got to just win at least, I don't know, 75% of them, I guess. I don't know. But you need to win enough so you can make sure you get there. Because I can tell you right now, Golden State is done. Done. You should be able to get that 10th spot. That's just what I'm saying.
Yes. Okay. Well, I have them winning about 15 of their last couple of games that they had, which will make them about 36-36 on the season, which will solidify them a spot in the play-in. So I'm hopeful.
So that's only contingent, though, if the Kings start to falter a little, you know, or lose more games.
Yes, of course.
Golden State lose more games, right? But if they're all neck and neck and they're winning games, you know, in a line, then we're like, oh, you're gonna still be 12, you know?
Yeah. But I think they should focus on what they can control, right?
Yeah,
you can't control what the Kings do, or Golden State, or Dallas for that matter. So if they do that, I think, you know, they just focus on what they can control. I think they'll be good.
That's true. And one of the things they can control is understanding their matchups, right? Because there will be some games that will happen at the second part of the season that they're just going to lose. And they just need to know that. If you're up against the Nets, it ain't going to happen. You know what, y'all might as well just go ahead and go light, get blown out, and call it a loss. No, I'm serious. Sixers, you can hang it up if you play the Sixers. But see, you got 3 games that's going to be in May against the Golden State Warriors. The Pelicans can potentially win all 3 games.
Yes.
So I think it would behoove the coaching staff and the team to say, let me look at this list. Which games can we afford to lose? Right? And and not that you don't want to win those games, yes, but no, I'm quite sure. I mean, it's all about math at this point. I'm quite sure these teams are saying, all right, so, and I don't know about that right now, but this because we don't have our top players, so maybe it's a matter of numbers. You think it's not a matter of numbers when we got teams right now resting injuries, resting players?
I mean, that's what they're doing. Yes.
Because these games, these back-to-back games, they're taking our players out.
Yes. Yep. It's pretty evident at this point in the season.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, we're going to wrap up this episode on the New Orleans Pelicans. We appreciate you watching. Make sure you drop down in the comments and let us know what you think about this. And do you think the Pelicans can really make it to the play-in, considering their upcoming schedule?
Yes.
And their current seating right now.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you on the next one. But until then,
peace.
Yeah.